So I've been watching. I'm on season 2 of Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, the creator of SEINFELD.
Yeah.
And he's a weird guy, annoying, but he has some very deep, strange ideas, right?
Yeah.
Philosophical. And he's not an actor. He just acts. He says he is who he is, and there's a lot of improv. Have you watched that show?
Yeah.
And I was wondering what you think about those, because, well, I mean, first, going to SEINFELD, like Seinfeld, the actual guy, he was a bad actor, right? Like,
yeah,
at the beginning, at least, the first few seasons.
But he was a great stand-up.
Yes, and there's a nuance there. There's a difference. He would laugh at the middle of the show, and that would make the people laugh. And then again, he's a comedian, and he does some stand-up at the beginning of the series, so you kind of forgive him. And then you have Kramer, Elaine, and George. They're like, they carried the way. So what do you think about those? Would you consider them kind of like gimmicks to make the show work, or would you think that adds? Because
I think in that case, those, I mean, two or three of the cast were well-known comedy actors in the States, weren't they? Jerry Seinfeld was a very successful stand-up, and Larry David was writing and producing, wasn't he? So they were all aware of that. I mean, they would have put that show together. A huge amount of people, a huge team would have put the whole thing together and made it work. You know what I mean? I actually saw Jerry Seinfeld doing stand-up.
Oh, are you kidding me?
No, he did. He doesn't do it often. I saw him at the O2 with a comedian friend of mine took me.
When was this?
10 years ago.
Okay. But
The
I think
O2.
he stopped.
He was at the O2 for one night.
Wow.
Maybe a dozen years ago. And this friend of mine who was a radio presenter and a comedian managed to get us tickets, and we went.
Nice.
Because he was obsessed with him. Now, I've got to say, I wasn't the most massive fan.
Yeah.
But it was one of the greatest evenings of stand-up I've ever seen.
Really?
He did. I think he probably did a couple of hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours. And you know, he didn't swear once. There was no foul or profane language. Not that I'm averse to foul or profane language.
Me neither, but I see the point.
The act was entirely clean, as they used to say it. It wasn't even risque. It was just clever. Oh my God, it was. I mean, I can't remember any of the gags, but I didn't stop laughing. I literally didn't stop laughing.
He asks the best questions.
Yeah, and he's funny. He did a whole routine about insects and stuff. I can't remember. Oh God, it was just so funny. A lot of philosophical stuff, and going off on a tangent, and then weaving it all the way back to where he was, and an hour before.
Yeah, those like
God, it was brilliant. But his show, I've got to say, I find watching comedy. I haven't done that much comedy, but I find watching comedy and what we call situation comedies, which are kind of that sort of thing.
The sitcoms.
Yeah,
That's the.
Okay. I can't watch them very. I find them. I think because I know where they're going and I know where the payoff is, and I'm kind of waiting for the there's the gag, and unless they're brilliantly
they have to
done.
Be really curb your enthusiasm. They're great at hiding all of that.
Yeah.
Seinfeld used to be like that in the 90s. I suppose today it kind of, but it still holds, man. I saw.
I mean,
but most of them, I see what you mean. Most of them are like,
there's nothing. I can't think of a comedy show that really grabs me. That I think, oh God, I have to watch that. And there's nothing on British TV or American telly at the moment that makes.
At the moment that,
I think so.
Curb stopped. Yeah, they have. Yeah, me neither. I mean, ongoing right now. No, I don't.
There's a lot of drama. I mean, we're in the golden age of television. Somebody tell my agent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff, but I can't think of a comedy that I really love. I mean, even things that are termed like the classic British comedies, the Fawlty Towers, Some Mothers Do Have 'Em, Dad's Army, all these old programs that you probably never heard of.
Haven't heard
that were absolutely huge.
They were huge.
That were around in the 70s that would have audiences of 20-25 million to watch an episode. Massive shows.
There's one British show. I don't know if it was a show, but they had movies and stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen sketches about a Monty Python.
Yeah.
So were they like a crew, right? And they
started here.
It started in Cambridge.
Yeah. There's a thing in Cambridge where a lot. It's how I met my wife. Weirdly enough, there's a thing in Cambridge at Cambridge University called the Footlights.
I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is.
It's a review company, and every year, this review company would put on a show at the end of term for the delectation and enjoyment of the other students. And it became a big thing because in the 60s, a lot of more subversive and political comedy was introduced into these routines. And the Footlights Review became a big thing. And so and at Oxford as well, the Oxford Review Company. But there was a massive show called Beyond the Fringe, which took the elements of the most successful people from the Footlights and the Oxford Review Company, and it went into the West End, and that was massive in the 60s.
Wow.
Quite subversive, sometimes quite odd comedy, but often with the political overtones.
And philosophical.
And philosophical overtones. You know, they're doing routines about Descartes and things like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those actors, so John Cleese and Tim Brooke Taylor and Michael Palin and Graham Chapman, all of the original Pythons, they were pretty much all at college in Cambridge and came through Footlights. And a few came from Oxford, the Oxford Review Company. But that's where that was born. So there's a massive tradition of that kind of surrealist comedy within Footlights, and within that they kind of introduced that thing. And it's funny because it started here at the.
It started here. And why did it stop? Because it's not going on anywhere.
It's still going.
It's still going.
The Cambridge Footlights still do a show every year, and they do it. I think the Arts is closed now at the moment. They did do a tour show every year, which they took up to Edinburgh every year. The Edinburgh Festival.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So they'd do it at Edinburgh, and then it would tour around the country.
Fringe Festival.
Yeah. It kind of the Footlights kind of crossed over between Fringe and the actual festival itself. It was kind of halfway between because it was kind of not fringy, but
okay.
But loads and loads of friends of mine throughout my career who started off in Footlights have given me jobs because have written stuff for me. Yeah, God bless them. My wife Nikki used to be the stage manager for the Footlights companies.
Stage manager.
She used to press the buttons and make the lights work and all the rest of it at the theatre.
I like handle the whole.
Yeah, that's how we met. We met when she was doing a Footlights show at the Arts Theatre, and friends of hers who were in Footlights Review at the time, who are now enormously successful people in TV and film, have remembered me because I was just at the time when they were young undergraduate students doing review. We used to feed them. They used to come and stay with us because by then I was just starting to crack TV and just making a bit of money and whatever. So they used to come and sleep on the floor and we'd buy them a curry and stuff when we lived on the other side.
You see how it is.
So so there was a big tradition of that here, and you know, Cambridge was a.
So, for example, is that luck? Like you were kind, you know, values play some.
It's payback, isn't it? It's karma.
Karma? Yeah. Do you believe in karma?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
In as much as I think if you're nice to people, they'll be nice to you.